Dancer.
Gonna be.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, man, comes up.
Are you videoing me?
I'm videoing.
Hi, what's up, everybody? I'm Dan.
Boom.
However, the next comedian on stage that likes to dress up in leather occasionally doesn't really matter now. I just figured I'd point that out. You guys are gonna love him. He's my favorite comedian in the city. Please welcome Joseph Van Sickle.
That man's a fucking liar. I am not his favorite comedian in the city. How about you? Where are you from? Chicago. Okay. You could have done me a favor and been from Florida. That would have been a lot easier to rip a joke on, but could I possibly deputize you to just turn this towards me and record it? I appreciate that. And do that kind of at the start of things. It's an easier way for me to get things done. Because if I ask my friends to do it, trust me, they get drunk, pass out, and fucking don't do it. All right. It's happening. All right, so hey everyone, my name's Joseph. I'm here for a couple of minutes to talk to you about a few things. First and foremost, I have a visitor in town from America. My older sister is here in the audience. Let's make her uncomfortable as shit. Don't point look, she's over there at a table. So, family finally recognized that I live here and they came to fucking visit, so that's cool. Also, can we just quickly give it up for all the other, I mean, I believe there was a flaming penis joke, some guy did an Adam West tribute, like this has been all-star already. That was pretty good stuff so far, so we're good there, so you're off to a good. No matter how badly I fuck up right now, let's all just remember the good times, the moments when we were laughing and we were happy. I lived in New York City most of my life. I lived there for about 13 years. Hey, great, awesome. We got some fans. I live, anybody, hold on real quick. Anybody like customs, any customs agents, anyone officially here from the, no? Okay, I live here now, so I live here now. Completely legally, I assure you. Yeah. I won't lie, I've given Icelandic people their own racial slur. I don't know why. I don't have anything against them. I just thought it was hilarious that nobody in the world has anything bad to say about Icelandic people. So I didn't know what to do, and I just jokingly gave them, I started calling them ices, which is like a red and blue sugary drink for children, like at the movies or a 7-Eleven. It's a god-awful thing. And I didn't mean that to reflect anything about them. And I didn't mean for that to be a part of my set, but that's how I abbreviated Icelandic people right there, and it came out. So that happened. I do think that living around Icelandic people has made me, honest to God, a better person. Like, I mean that. I don't litter anymore, I'm less short-tempered, I'm lless fucking angry, I never have a desire to just randomly shoot up a movie theater with a... It's so weird, all these things no longer occur to me. But, I do wonder though, I lived in New York City for 13 years, and I wonder if like that time there made me a better or a worse person, like how it really impacted my personality. Because like when I first moved there, I was everything was gonna kill me. You know what I mean? Everything. That guy could have a knife. That guy could have a gun. Oh my God, that guy's gonna rob me. I fell asleep on the subway, he's gonna... And then after I lived there for, a decade or so, it was like, that guy seems kind of stupid. Maybe I could rob his ass. You know what I mean? Like I immediately was just like, oh, I could definitely take advantage of that dude. I'm pretty sure. It's just identifying schmucks. Like, and it's. I'm sorry. Inherently, I'm really sad that just the word schmucks didn't get a laugh because I think that's a fucking hilarious word. So that's on all of you. That's not on me. It's not on my set. I took a trip recently. I went to both Denmark and Amsterdam. I did a little twofer. Now, I can't say the name Amsterdam without pointing out the fact that America's fucking ridiculous. Like, I can't, Amsterdam immediately to me equals America is fucking stupid. Like, we're the freest nation in the world. Yeah, they have legal pot all over and just a gallery of whores that you can, like, prostitution, like, what are you talking about? You're free. That makes no sense.
Colorado.
And, well, hey, Colorado's not far off, but you're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. I appreciate, and again, now this goes by, boy, man. Oh, if you guys had seen me, my whole skit last week was about how racists don't travel and, like, rednecks aren't interested in international cultures, and, like, you guys have proven that point very firmly. I appreciate that. But, you know, very much, when I was in Denmark, I found this neighborhood called Christiania, and I'm sure that all those are very familiar with this. Yes, and when I got back here, my first question to my local friends was, why don't we have our own Christiania? Where is that? Now, for those of you that aren't in the know, for the Colorados and the Californias, it is Little Amsterdam. They have a little walled-in Amsterdam right there in Copenhagen that is just a drug-friendly zone where anything goes and it's all good. And that place was amazing, and I spent most of my trip there, you know, arguably speaking. But while I was there, I did constantly have to run into, and this is the weirdest thing, like, I've seen other Americans in Europe, and if you get offered a joint, they're like, oh, well, here's a joint. Okay, you hit it. Oh, that's filled with tobacco and has this giant cardboard filter on the end. But whatever, I'm not going to be a dick. I'll go ahead and smoke it. But Europeans are the only people I've met that, like, you roll a joint, you hand it to them, and they're like, is this not rolled with tobacco? Is there no filter? I don't want this. And it's like, I've never given someone free drugs and had them be like, it doesn't quite meet my standards. You know what I mean? That's very weird to me. Like, I was like a grubby kid that grew up in Ohio in the middle of America, which, if you've never been to Ohio, if you want to make a Venn diagram of racism and farms, and then you find that little middle sliver. We have racist farmers. That's where we came from. But in any event, so you know that was weird to me that there was a stipulation on free drugs. But when I got to Denmark, I did realize one very immutable, and this is where it gets a little less than funny. I had forgotten my actual medicine. I have acid reflux. I get really bad heartburn, really bad indigestion, which means your stomach fills up with stomach acid, and you don't like throw up like, oh, I had too much to drink. You throw up like you're standing there going, I need this to come out of my body. Like this is it feels like one of the aliens is about to burst out of your chest, and you just want that shit gone. So you just project it in any direction, you know? So I had that shit going on when I was in Denmark. I had forgotten and look, like, all right, we prescribe a medicine in America to deal with this called Prilosec. You take it once a day. To let you know, for those of you that are not familiar, this product is advertised by a man named Larry the Cable Guy. All right? Okay. For those of you that laughed, you get the joke. For those of you that didn't, congratulations, you've lived a decent life. You don't know who Larry the Cable Guy is. You've succeeded on a higher level than any of us are capable of. But he's a white trash redneck piece of shit random comedian that does white trash redneck jokes. But the whole point is, the entire essence of this drug is, I don't give a shit what's good for me or not. I'm going to continue to harm my body, but this pill will make it A-okay. And like, I went to a doctor here in Iceland, and I was like, hey, I ran out of my medication. I don't have any. And they're like, yeah, well, what do you need? And I'm like, well, I have really bad acid reflux. And they're like, what is that? And I'm like, well, it's indigestion. It's caused by, and they're like, well, what causes it? I'm like, well, I don't sleep normal hours. I really don't eat on a regular schedule. I drink almost entirely whiskey and milk. They go great together, by the way. Almost entirely my diet, and just spicy food late at night, a complete lack of regard for any, and the Icelandic doctor was like, yeah, so stop fucking doing that. And I was like, Larry the Cable Guy, do you not understand? Yo, you would never make it in America. You would never make it. Your medical license would be stripped right there. How dare you suggest I change my shitty life patterns? But, so, you know, in any event, so, I'm in Denmark, and I'm sick with acid reflux, and I throw up all over Denmark. This is the part that's not pleasant. Oh, I'm not good. I'm glad people. That's good. As long as they're getting some sort of laugh, because I'm not kidding you. I mean, it's just walking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just walking, throwing up every 6 blocks, just into a trash can, into a corner behind a church, just ejecting stomach acid from my body, feeling as sick as I possibly can. And like it all started, I actually had a joint left over from Christiania. And I smoked with a guy from my hostel, and like halfway through smoking the joint, I was like, 1 second. And then the guy was like, thank you. And he was like completely freaked out, as a normal person would be. So at the end of this walking and puking tour of Copenhagen, that's, you can find it in the guidebooks. It's very highly sought after. After this little tour that I took, I ended up back like in the same little park right outside of my hostel, and I just got my hands in my head thinking, I don't have it in me to walk all the way back to that neighborhood. I wish I could smoke right now. And like a voice from heaven, like an angel, like is this real life? I just hear this guy say, "Excuse me." Now, all right, I have to credit. I'm pretty good at accents, and I've kind of tried to work most of them out, but I have not done a Danish accent at all. So, like, for the purposes of this story, whenever I have to do a Danish accent, I'm just kind of gonna go, because, like, I can't. So I just, from behind me, I hear, and I'm just like, what's that? And he's like, "Would you like to smoke this joint?" And I'm like, "Are you for real? Is this real life? Are you an angel from heaven? Are you kidding me?" And he specifically says, "Well, here's the stipulations, 2 of them. It has no tobacco and no filter." And I'm like, "Oh." But that was a sign, you know? And then he says the other stipulation is, and I lost my book of material earlier today on a bus. This is like just the things that happened to me in the last 2 weeks. He said we need to go 3 blocks down the street around the corner and hop a very large steel fence and break into a park that's closed and smoke it in there. And I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'm game. But immediately, just like, shit, I'm gonna get robbed. This is some European guy. But then I thought about the fact that he rolled the joint the way he did, and as we're walking, I asked him, "Where is he from?" And he says, "Minnesota." I mean, I'm sorry, shit, Minnesota. And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Well, I'm from Minnesota. I kind of do that. I pick up the accent of the area that I'm in." And I was like, "Oh, no, you don't kind of do that. You're a fucking douchebag." Like, I had a roommate in college, all right? This guy lived in England for 6 months when he was 0 to 6 months old, all right? And he lived 18 years in America, lived 4 years in New York City with me, went back to England for a 2-week trip to visit his grandmother, and came back, "Would you like a cuppa? Could I get you a spot of tea, mate?" And it's like, no, dude, that's not how that fucking works. That's not how that works. You don't go to a fucking country for 2 weeks and pick up their entire mannerisms and act. No, that's not how that fucking works. And it really fucking upset me. So when I heard this kid, it was like, oh shit, he's not a streetwise, I'm not about to get robbed, like, all right, I have to say in my own defense, I have been guilty of this, all right? I lived in Australia for 2 months, and I came away not speaking an Australian accent, not like a douchebag, but I definitely picked up one of their words, you know, the C word. I mean cheers, by the way, for the record. I meant cheers, not cunt. You guys all thought I was going to say cunt, but I'll say cunt, no problem. They say cunt left and right. I had a friend there, he called a red light a fucking cunt because it turned red. It was that fucking cunt. Like, they use cunt for everything. But it was cheers I picked up, and it's okay to say cheers to pretty much anything if you have a slick Australian or British accent. If you're in any country, you say, cheers. Somebody can hold the door for you. Somebody can fucking give you a change. And cheers, it's totally acceptable. But when you sound and you look like I do, and you're in a random country and you've just picked up the habit of saying cheers, and you say cheers to a random thing, they basically look at you like, oh, that's so stupid. He thinks that's what we say here. He thinks we say cheers to everything. That's what he thinks is our common practice. And it's like, no, that's not what I think at all. But in any event, yeah, I ended up hanging out with this stupid kid, and we got really high together, and he started describing how trees get energy from the sun, and he proved how big of a douchebag he was. And my first thought when I realized what a big douchebag he was, how can I rob this kid? How can I take advantage of him? I'm being played the fuck off. All right, guys, thanks.
There's like a set time, and like this was 3 times that. It's like, I don't know, you just have to have some rules. It just goes into chaos.